Hi guys, so this one's been a little while coming. I am doing a cosplay in the kitchen review, and I promise I am in my kitchen, although I am using the camera facing the other way against the wall to try and see if it improves the sound and prevents the echo, which I don't think it will be doing. So, as some of you who have watched my channel may know, I reviewed this, the Blissfield Butcher mask from Freaky, and when I reviewed it I had a few people asking if I was ever going to review the Dola Dagger replica that Trick or Treat Studios was making, also from that film. Took a little while to come out in this country, but it's finally arrived, and here it is. I don't usually do reviews of these in the boxes, but this box is nice and easy to get in and out of, so I thought that I would start there. So, this is what you get. It's about £40, I believe. I got it from Mad About Horror. It's a little bit pricier than their standard replica knife. If you're talking about a Myers knife or something like that, it's usually 15 to 25. But we're going to get a little bit into why that is. So you get it in this nice basic display box. I have no intention of keeping it in the box, but I thought I would show it in there. You may notice, interestingly, it describes it as a Dola Dagger replica. Now, I've not noticed them use the phrase replica when they're talking about their sort of other weapons, knives and stuff. And I will get a little bit into why they've done that here when we open it, because it's very, very nice. Apart from that, you just get a little quote on the back of the box. It's pretty standard, and plenty of references to Freaky the film, as opposed to, I don't know, Freaky the video game, Freaky the Bolognese. I was unaware there were other things called Freaky, but it's very specifically the film. So there you go. So take it out, you get your standard plastic packaging, and this is what you get. You get this, and this is really, really nice. I think this is easily the best Trick or Treat Studios replica weapon that they've ever released, or certainly that I have ever owned. Now, first of all, as you can probably tell by the bulk, it's quite a bulky piece. It's not made of plastic. It appears to be a type of resin. I suspect that would make it fragile. I wouldn't go around dropping this or anything like that, but it does mean they've got some brilliant pieces of detail on it. And the detail on it is really, really nice, and so is the paint job. So Trick or Treat Studios, I quite often find they are brilliant for mass-produced products, but their paint jobs, as you expect from mass marketing, are sometimes not the best. This paint job is superb. If you look at the blade, with this sort of golden effect around the outside, then it gets sort of darker inside. That's exactly like it is in the film. Sort of bone handle, exactly as it is in the film. I've done my best to compare this to screenshots from the film, and I would be surprised if they hadn't used the movie mould for this. It is, as far as I can see, absolutely spot on. Size-wise, it's perfect. This is exactly how it looks when it's held in the film. Detail-wise, it appears to be perfect. You get this very bizarre face, very, very bizarre face, where if you look at it from kind of these three angles, it's got teeth and eyes that make it almost look like a face from, you know, three different angles. Turn around that way, it's got a nose, but the mouth stops. Really bizarre, but that is what it looks like in the film. I did think when I took it out of the box, I thought that maybe it had been damaged, because it's only got one of these red eyes, and there's nothing in this one. And I had a very distinct memory in the film when he first uses the dagger and it curses Millie, Catherine Newton's character. He holds up the dagger and I remember the two eyes glowing. I'm wrong. I've gone back and rewatched that scene. It does in fact only have one eye in the film. The other eye has fallen out and that one eye lights up. They haven't put a light up eye in this. And that is a decision that I respect, because the only way they could have done that would have been make a plastic handle. You'd have had a battery compartment, you know, a screw, a button to light it up. It would have just ruined it. It would have made it not look like a really nice prop replica, which this is. There's absolutely no sort of copyright writing on it or anything to take away from it being a replica. There is writing on it running down the blade. Don't know how well that'll come out. I'll try and do a close-up. That's again in the film because they talk about the inscription on the blade. I haven't gone back and checked whether or not this inscription is accurate because it is in Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, but there you go. And it's got a full inscription on there and it's very clear. You know, it's very well moulded. It's really, really well sculpted. The only thing that takes away from it being a spot-on replica, and this isn't a criticism because I don't think they had a choice here, is the twine on it is sculpted out of the resin as well. Now, in the movie prop, that's actual twine, as it would be, from what I can tell. The only thing that makes me think it's not the movie mould, or they modified the movie mould to include the twine, or maybe the stunt one in the movie was sculpted and only the close-ups of it had the twine. But that is sculpted in resin twine, not real twine, which I completely respect. You know, they aren't going to individually wrap twine around each one of these that they make. If they did, it would be a nightmare. It could fray, it could come off, all sorts of things. If I wanted to upgrade it, I could always wrap a bit of twine around it myself. I don't think I'm going to bother. I don't think you can notice. But yeah, in terms of paint job and detail, it's just perfect. It looks so much like it does in the film. There's one tiny, tiny flaw, which is the eye. And again, I don't know how well you'll see this. Has a tiny little spot, which looks like kind of where they injected it and took it out. It's a shame, but it doesn't take much away from it, and just looks like a little pupil. It might actually be intentional. I don't think it is, but it looks fine. What I wanted to do very quickly, though, is have a look at this and compare it to the Halloween 2022 Halloween Ends knife. Just to give you an impression of the jump in quality between this and this. And once again, I'm not criticising this. The Halloween Ends knife is at least £20 cheaper. And it is fine as a prop. This is absolutely fine. When you're doing a Michael Myers cosplay, I'm quite happy using this when I cosplay my Halloween Ends Michael Myers. But when you look at these side by side, you see why this one is more expensive. And it isn't just the resin and the thickness, but it's also the quality of the blades. I mean, the blade on this one has got this sort of rust print, and it looks quite cool from any distance when you're cosplaying. But up close, it's quite a low quality JPEG look. The handle, you know, is meant to be wooden, but you have a look and there's no colour on the screws, which is understandable again, and not a problem when you're in cosplay. You run it in your hand and there's a bit of gump printed on there, things like that. You compare it to this. That to me is a sort of plastic prop that you can use in cosplay. It's not something to go on a mantelpiece and display if you're a horror fan. This is a prop replica. This is as close to the prop as I think you're going to get, and I think it's brilliant. It's a wonderful little piece from a film that I really, really like, but I also just like the general vibe of it. It's a sort of an Aztec blade. It's quite good for use with sort of any kind of explorer costume, like I can do an Indiana Jones shoot where he's looking for the dagger, because it's just a beautiful little piece. And it goes really well with the mask. So there you have it. Makes for a very quick, very easy cosplay. But yeah, if you're a fan of the film or on the fence about whether or not the dagger's worth getting, I strongly, strongly recommend it. It is my favourite direct prop replica I think I've gotten from Trick or Treat Studios, where I've taken it out of the box and I've gone, that's perfect. I don't have to do anything. And I raved about this, the mask, because of its price point and how accurate it was for that price point. All facts that I stand by. But when you put it next to this, again, this feels like a plastic Halloween mask in comparison to a genuine high quality prop replica. I still strongly recommend this one if you're a fan of the film. It's, again, as good as you're going to get. It's pretty much spot on sculpt with a slightly rushed paint job maybe. But this is leagues apart, where again, looks like a prop from the movie. And I love it. So strongly recommend this one from me if you are a fan of Freaky. Or general horror prop replicas. If you collect sort of horror weapons and you want an iconic weapon from a slightly underappreciated horror, yeah, I strongly recommend it. Until next time.